section. So I can do this.
So you fused the whole thing, and now you're.
Yeah, that I will fuse the whole thing, and then I'll just go by sections.
So wait, let me ask you this. Hold on 1 second. Before you start razor blading, why don't you try adding another layer before you start razor? Why don't you try?
Why don't you try thing and
two coats?
So fuse the whole thing and then put another layer on?
Yeah, because I feel like when I look at you, it feels like you know, you're still getting that scraping thing together, and I wonder if you just put more on there, you'll have more room. You might feel a little bit more confident, and you might get an even more even coat with the second coat, because a lot of people do 2 or 3 coats for a base coat.
Okay, this is the base coat, right? Yeah, so that would be the first coat. All right.
Right. So I think what Shari was saying too is that she probably does wax. She probably doesn't do just one wax medium coat before she does her shellac. Her base coat is probably consists of 2 to 3 layers.
Yeah, that's what she said. Her base was 2 or 3 layers.
There you go. So let's try that and see if that helps you.
Okay. Well, so that's going to take a while. What I can do is go on and ask you some other questions.
Sure.
And then do this after we're finished. But this is really helpful for you to see what I'm doing, you know, the mistakes I'm making.
Yeah, I think
yeah, because it's thick and thin. They're different thicknesses. So I wonder if it'll go on more smoothly if I already have some wax on there.
I think so. I think you're going to have a lot more success.
Say it again?
I think you'll have more success if you're working harder on your second or third coat. You know what I mean?
Oh, I ran out. The batteries run out of this. Okay. So I can finish that. I want to show you some other things before we have to get off.
Did you want to look at your email?
Well, I can just hold them, either one. I can either hold it up or.
Yeah, you can hold it up or I can open the email.
Okay. Yeah, the questions are in the email.
I think the 2 things that we talked about today, Pam, are going to be really helpful. I think looking into a torch, and I think putting that first coat on, fusing it, and then putting a second coat on, and then trying to really smooth out the second coat. Like, don't worry so much about the first coat.
Okay, great. I think that'll help.
And then you know how you
just out of curiosity, how long can this hold once it's fused, and then I put another coat on, I fuse it again. Once it's fused, how much time do I have before I start scraping? I mean, you know, if I need to go eat lunch or something.
You have all the time in the world.
I do. Okay. All right. It doesn't. Absolutely. I notice it seems to be better just after it's fused because it's still a little warm and more pliable.
But I actually like it when it's a little bit stiffer personally, because I feel like I have a tendency to remove too much.
Yeah.
Or put too many little nicks in it and stuff if I lay my razor blade down wrong.
Okay. All right, let me put this aside. I'll get these other ones to get some questions going. Okay, so I guess the first question was, you had said, you know, the last class, you had said to dig it out. So I did, but let me show you what I did, because I forgot those instructions. So I was doing a practice piece doing different incising things instead of scraping.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I found the ginkgo really helps because it, you know, I could just follow the outline of
Yeah.
the leaf and the lines.
Yeah.
But what I found is first, it didn't work for me to go do a lighter color and then do a darker color to put in the incision lines, because then it would just make it look like mud, you know, like this is a real yellow.
Right.
Put the blue green on and it just looked muddy.
Right.
So I think what I'd like to do, unless you may have other suggestions, this seemed to work where if I have a darker color,
you put the lighter color on top
and the lighter on top, that worked. So I think unless you have other ideas.
I think that those two colors just aren't contrasting another. I think you can do a light color with a dark color, but those two colors, that yellowy green and that blue, they're too close together. I think that's why you don't
really?
like it. I mean, if anything, you could take another color like a pigment stick and put it on top of the leaf to make the leaf pop up against the outline.
I think that's what I did. I think this was pigments.
Yeah, I don't mind. I can see it. I think it looks actually, I mean, I definitely think the yellow pops way more as far as the line goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
so
I can see the blue on the yellow over here.
The blue?
I can see the blue. Yeah, I can see that one. Yeah, I can see
that, but I didn't put it over the actual leaf. I
put it around.
Right away, I pulled it back, so I pushed it into the incision line. So
yeah, I really like the one at the top. I really like the dark one over top the light area. Yeah, the one in the upper corner. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I love that. I love I love the things underneath it, and then that one sitting on top.
Yeah, so that to me seemed more successful than trying to do the light with dark on top. Okay.
Right, but even see the left side where you have the white underneath the blue.
Up on this one?
Yeah. So you could take white pigment stick and hand paint those flowers on top of the blue. So it looks like it's wax, but so then they'll be white again, but you'll basically be hand painting the surface.
Oh, that's cool. That would be a whole nother technique.
Right.
And then I also tried, I put gold on one. Where is it? Where's the gold? Oh, but it really didn't work.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, I see it. I like it.
So I was trying different things, but
yeah, I like it.
If I'm doing this, where I have the flatto green flatto.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. It's so great.
Is it okay to have some of this? What would be underneath? Should I be painting this with like a gold or yellow?
Well, I kind of like the gray and white tones.
I just leave it like that. Oh.
Well, you can use pigment sticks to pan paint it. You could use like the wax. Did you ever buy the woody wax crayons?
Yes, I did.
So you could draw the line of the ginkgo with the wax crayon, and then you could paint inside of there with the pigment stick right back over the green. So you could So it's kind of like the green goes under and then the white would go back over that wax. And so you could have total sharpness. So it looks like the white is coming straight out towards you 3D.
Wow. Well, that's why I wanted to show it to you at this stage to see what can I do with it.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I think it's beautiful. And I like all these little holes. They remind me of like ocean where, like, I don't mind.
I like them. Yeah. And I like actually filling them in. So there's a color, like with a lighter color. But then if I ever wanted to do real smooth.
Smooth, I think if you watch people on YouTube and stuff that do real smooth, it's just, they've either perfected the heat gun or they're perfected the torch. They're really not touching it. The other thing, Pam, you can do is if you want to do perfectly smooth, you can pour, and I'm happy to show you how to pour.
Oh, that's right. You had mentioned that. Yeah, I'd like to do a pouring session, like with, a small flower thing or something.
Yeah.
Just pour. Okay.
Yeah. And it's a really easy setup. I mean, you basically just have to use a cookie sheet or something to pour into to catch it, right? And you want to lift the panel up off the cookie sheet. So like 4 little, there could be bottle caps. It can be any form, like you want like little stands so the panel's up off the cookie sheet so the wax can go around
Yeah. Okay. I always like that really smooth, but I've really enjoyed working with the texture of the wax, so I don't always want it smooth, but
I love those really deep, dark pieces you're making. They're so beautiful and mysterious.
Cool.
That's beautiful. So now I think you need to think about like the weaving too. Like it's like you're covering up an image, then you're digging back. If you can't dig it out perfectly, that's fine. Let it blend and then hand paint the surface so that it looks perfect. But it's a trick. It's like an optical illusion because you're not actually going to be hand painting it to get that line back on there.
Okay, well, I'll definitely experiment with this and then just work with it.
You learned a lot today too. So practice with the second coat. Let's forget about trying to smooth the first coat and forget about scraping. Also, I just want to put it out there, and this doesn't have to happen today or when you're working during this next session at home, but not everybody loves a razor blade. So there are other scraping tools besides the razor blade.
I've been using to scrape out, not to do the scraping out, on a big coat, but I've been using this thing you told me about.
That thing's great.
That has been fantastic.
That thing's great. People also really like that pottery tool that's bent. It's like it's like the circle because it doesn't have that straight sharp line that the razor blade has.
Let me see. I have one.
Like the big one. People like the big one because it scrapes more on a curve than at such an angle, a sharp angle like the razor blade. Yeah, that one, but much bigger. They like it. Yeah, bigger.
And it's okay. I'll start experimenting with.
So when you scrape with something like that, you're just not making all those little nicks because.
The razor blade, I see it going. And then,
right, but that's again. I'm gonna say it's too much pressure. You're putting too much intensity and pressure on the blade, so it should be more like fluid, less effort, less intentional effort, more just.
That's what I'm learning in physical therapy with my foot. More movement,
you're strong. You're strong. You're assertive and you're strong, and you're like, I'm gonna do this. So, but and I'm the same way. And it's like sometimes like a little bit less or taking it back, like, because you're working with something that wants to move already, and and the wax wants to indent. It wants to take a pattern. So then you're like, oh shoot, don't force it, right? So just take it easy. Okay, awesome. So
thank you.
You want to email to schedule our next?
Or I could get my calendar, either one.
Yeah, you can get your calendar, it's fine.
Okay, 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
So Mondays are good?
Basically it doesn't matter. If Monday's a good day for you. Actually, next Monday does not work.
No, I could do the 16th, or I could do
16th. I have an appointment at 3:30, but if 3:30 for you is 12:30 for me, so I could do it.
Okay. Let's do that. Or we could even do 4 to 5 is fine too.
No, for me a little earlier is better because I have to get out.
Okay, so
12:30. That's 12:30 for me. 3:30.
The 16th, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 3:30. Okay, perfect. Okay, great.
I have a lot to work on.
Yeah, work on that big piece. I'm curious to see how that goes for you.
Okay, great.
All right, I'll see you. Leah. I'll send you these recordings. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Oh,
bye. Bye. All right, see ya.